but it's okay. We can have a little bit chat. So wait for the people to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the chat should remain like casual as
Mm-hmm.
the regular spaces would be, or something like this, but with the difference that we are on the camera. Let me
Mm-hmm.
just see. Like if people will come here, just let us know if our audio is loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine is okay. I hear everyone very well on the camera. So the purpose of this live is we are going to discuss the game of NFTs that took place recently, um, in regards of Interchain NFTs, and we have some few really cool guests. So we have my colleague Michael from the Stargaze,
How's it going?
who was the sponsor of the game of NFTs. We have Brian from the Optic, and we have Dan that here is representing IrisNet, and I believe all of those parties were involved in the game of NFTs. So we can start with like a very quick introduction about who you are and what you do. Maybe start with the Dan. You can.
Yeah, I'm Ericsnet's global consultant on the game of NFT. I help them to organize and promote this whole event. Me personally, I started my career in blockchain since 2017. I worked majorly as a in the product design part. So I started several projects and worked at some exchanges before. So it's a bear market right now. So I'm trying to find new directions right now.
Brian.
Oh, yeah. I'm Brian from Optic Network. I'm the founder of this project. So actually, we started this project in 2018. Well, basically on any topic of NFT on Ethereum. Then and finally, actually, we moved to Cosmos. So we are building a so-called business grade NFT infrastructure. We try to make sure the ecosystem application can be blooming on this chain and also in the bigger Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah, I have been working in the industry for 20 years from Web 1 to Web 3. Now, uh, really dedicated myself into the Web 3.
Yeah. By the way, we are all very lucky because we are all in the same time zone right now. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we do have Michael from the Stargaze, which is also sponsor of this. So Michael, you're like also new to this channel. If you can introduce yourself.
Yep. Yeah. So Michael, representing Stargaze, and Stargaze is an NFT focused blockchain, and we decided to sponsor a game of NFTs because we want to further develop cross-chain NFT transfers. Uh, I'm mostly responsible for anything that has to do with cross-chain for NFTs, and kind of also informally representing connection between U.S. and Asia.
Yeah, Michael, can you tell me like what was the games of NFTs exactly?
So the game of NFTs is two phases, right? So we just concluded with phase one. So essentially, what it is there's this protocol called ICS 721, and ICS 721 is a protocol that's used to transfer NFTs between chains within the Cosmos ecosystem. And the phase one was, I believe, there was 200,000 USD in Atom that was given away to winners of teams. And the goal simply here was to break the protocol because it's a new protocol. And so teams showed up and they hacked at it in different ways, and we wanted to see if the protocol could be broken. For phase two, and spoiler alert, the protocol was not broken, which was good. Um, there was something that was broken on the side, but we'll talk about that later. And then phase two is for developing tools on top of ICS 721. So
Hmm.
a number of teams have talked about new features that they're going to be able to add with this interchain transfers.
Hmm. Can I learn like from anyone? how the ICS 721 came to existence. Is there any like particular team who is responsible for inventing this standard? Like who, any of you can speak on that.
I think.
You can take it, yeah.
Oh yeah. So essentially, just from what I understand, so IrisNet. So we don't have IrisNet on the call, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So IrisNet essentially designed the protocol, and they said, look, here's a protocol, the spec for how an interchain transfers will work with NFTs, and essentially a lot of people kind of contributed to this in a decentralized way. And Stargaze was one of the chains that picked up the CosmWasm implementation, and then IrisNet picked up the SDK.NFT implementation. So we've both been working on this kind of independently and collaboratively for the past year or so. And as as the protocol becomes more popular, people have reviewed the original specs. Some changes have been made, or some modifications. But it's mostly the same as it was originally designed. It was mostly a matter of just implementing it.
Mm-hmm. So as it's like IrisNet was designed, so I want to ask you, Dan, how was the results? Was there any bugs that you have discovered during the process? Because like, yeah, we just learned that the protocol wasn't broken. So I guess like it was the goal, but it has proven that the protocol was right. So I assume you are satisfied with the results. But was there something discovered that brought you a trouble?
Right. We found actually two specific bugs that is quite interesting. Number one is a critical vulnerability that allow an attacker to take control of any NFTs of the clients. So and the second one is, I think, it's a bug that can lead to a recursive loop, which is gonna related to CosmWasm. And this may cause transactions and transfers to get stuck. So those two bugs are the major findings from phase one, and we are happy that we already found a solution for them. We are coordinated with different teams, and once the technical is officially launched, those will be fixed. Those will be fixed before launch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's the two bugs, right? So the
Right.
first one is, so there's, like I said, there's CosmWasm implementation, and then there's SDK NFT implementation. So that the first bug that allows you to take control of an NFT, that was in the SDK NFT implementation, correct?
Right.
And then the second one, this is kind of more related to IBC. So this is not specific to ICS 721, but essentially whenever you have these two channels with a relayer in between, that someone can kind of set up this recursive contract that causes the relayer to be brought down.
Right.
And during that time, were you like, was any team responsible for any tools that were built on top of that protocol?
We are actually in phase one. We have, other than the general scoring process, we have several specific prices for, like, maybe finding bugs, maybe building some public tools, or we even have a prize for helping the community. So the bug part is really from the Spurs team. They found the critical bug about taking control of any NFTs. I think that's really very critical. We really want to fix that before anything officially launched. And for the public tools, I think PingPub, they developed an Explorer and a Faucet, and the Arc protocol. They built a multi-chain CLI tool. Those are the teams that are selected by our judges. We think those kind of tools really bring some value to the community.
Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't really know that IrisNet was involved in the development of NFTs. It's like at IrisNet, you only developing the infrastructure for the Interchain NFTs, or do you plan to develop your platform into something more as well? So, do you plan to see marketplace on IrisNet as well?
First of all, I'm their consultant. I'm not from the team directly,
Mm-hmm.
so I would leave that question probably to somebody from the team to answer.
Mm-hmm.
But from based on my knowledge, I think they are also looking for environment like for ecology, like maybe a NFT marketplace, and also other things like just you mentioned. And we've noticed several kind of like NFT Fi projects in Ethereum ecology recently. We're hoping, maybe we can attract some kind of like projects to the Iris network into the Cosmos ecology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Brian. Welcome
Yeah.
back. I see you had some of the issues, a little bit of technical issues. You know, I'd like to learn like what exactly Optic is building for the NFTs, because I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about the Optic, right? And I think the Optic is not yet very well known in the maybe in our like more of the Western community of the Cosmos, right? Because I think you are very focused on the Chinese community so far. So I'd like to understand Optic a little bit more. Would you say it's very similar platform to the Stargaze in this place, that you plan to build a platform that is more of the community focused, or it is something different?
Okay, yeah. So actually, this is a very good opportunity to let audience understand what is Optic network. Actually, Optic started from the marketplace. So actually, we launched the first commercial version of marketplace on IrisNet. So we are a very strategic partner with IrisNet back to 2021. So the marketplace has been running over 2 years. So it already accumulated more than 300,000 NFT works from the global creators. But actually, even though we are working on this from the Asia, but our main market is in West Europe and North America. So, but yeah, of course, on the marketing side, we try to build some solid ground first, then we can spread the word out. So that's why, so this year, actually, we launched our Optic network, which is layer 1 based on Cosmos SDK plus EVM module support. So the purpose for that is to build a solid ground for the business grade infrastructure. At the same time, it's interconnectable to the Cosmos ecosystem chains. So we define us as an application specific on NFT chain. So the reason to do that is we really found NFT is not just a JPEG, right? So a lot of people thought that way, but NFT represents all kind of tokenized assets. So that will map to all kind of applications, right? So that's the purpose, to really build the blooming ecosystem of NFT. So at the same time, if you mention Stargaze, Stargaze is also doing a great thing and using the WASM module to support this type of NFT assets. So we truly believe like the Internet of Blockchain vision, right? So like everybody is building an economy zone. So we have our expertise and you have yours. So then we need the highway to connect us together, especially on the NFT asset part, interoperability. So yeah, that's why we are here. So actually, we were the co-organizer of the phase 1 and now the sponsor of the phase 2 hackathon. So we really want to help people to understand what is the NFT, especially not collectible, but more on the utility NFT side. So that will map to the real world application to bring in the massive adoption to the bigger Cosmos ecosystem. Yeah, so that's something we are working on that. So in terms of this NFT, Interchain NFT part, so we have been waiting for this for a long time. That's because that's an essential part for the NFT infrastructure. So that's why we're really excited to be part of that, and also probably be first round of a chance to enable that into the mainnet or in the near future. Yeah, but with that, so we believe people have many great ideas to demonstrate, to define what is NFT, Interchain NFT. Because right now, even the technology infrastructure is building steadily, moving forward. We still need to have innovative scenarios, use cases to support it, right? To make people feel Interchain NFT is an essential part for this NFT or Interchain ecosystem. It's not just a transfer back and forth, but you must do it for a purpose. So that's something we are very excited to have this hackathon up and running. That's the place to bring the application builders to bring their ideas and to do some prototyping, to maybe bring more innovations, right, to the Cosmos ecosystem.
Yeah, that's really cool points, Brian. Like, I wanted, because you said there might be some new innovations. You know, you were speaking about more of the utility NFTs, and I you know, for now, let's not pretend most of the NFT culture is around collectibles, but it's not just collectible as the image, but a lot of these collectibles are small social network groups, right? So you maybe know in Cosmos there is collection called Bad Kits, right? So on the one side you have the utility, that this is just the collectible, this is the art, but secondary, that is also small social networks and small community of the Bad Kit holders. And you know, there's multiple communities like this. I know that Omniflix is focusing on the streaming, so I wonder what's your point about the new applications for NFTs that could emerge. Maybe the applications in, like, in which areas the NFTs actually are good replacement for fungible tokens, etc., or something else. Well, do you have any takes how the space could evolve in the coming years?
Yeah, sure. Let me share some thoughts and practice we are doing right now, and also we really encourage the developers can join this discussion and the practice. So, for example, I think NFT itself would say collectible, utility, and some rights, but of course they are interconvertible, right? So then it will create a bigger circle for people to get involved from different roles. At the same time, I think NFT should not stay there alone, right? So basically, we're talking about NFT plus DeFi, NFT from social, NFT plus whatever, right? So that's really important. So if you talk about FT plus NFT, the NFT DeFi is obviously the direction everybody trying to do. But on the other side, we want to make sure NFT asset has its value by default, right? So all has a public recognizable value. Then the DeFi function adding to that will be very valuable. Just like in the physical world, we have some assets. I want to get some loan. I want to do something else by lending money to somebody. So I think those, because NFT basically is the vehicle of the digital assets, all type of digital assets, right? Depends on different metadata. It represents different assets. So for the asset, it should have the financial value, right? So we need to release such financial value to the users and to the owners. For example, one thing we are trying to do with our partner, application partner, is like a music related. So you know, JPEG, a picture is one type of business model, but music is another model. You cannot own a song, the right of a song, and listen to it 100 times a day, right? It doesn't mean anything. But you can upload to a video audio stream website, right? People can listen it and pay for that. You can get a share. So that means you own some asset and you are using it to make actual money for you and also for the original author. So that's something we are looking for. So yeah, financial wise and functional wise to make NFT really valuable inside this circle.
You mentioned the NFT DeFi, like and sorry to stick into you. Just hope the others have some patience. What is like could you give me an example of the NFT DeFi? And with that, maybe you have some favorite protocols, even on Ethereum, that already doing that or that you personally like to use.
Well, actually, I cannot say we're knowing all of that, but we're doing very simple practice by using the Interchain NFT protocol. For example, actually we are running, I would say probably the biggest NFT marketplace in the Cosmos ecosystem, IrisNet. So there's so many creators, they create their assets over there already, right? So then they want to looking for actual value by the creators or owners. So by the same time, on the Optic chain, maybe we will create a application, the app, which can use this NFT or pass or NFT membership or NFT audio video for some purpose. So in that case, on this side, the user might want to leverage the power of some existing project. So in that case, those owners can intertransfer the NFT to this site and to maybe do it financially, right? So work with the new players that's something brief ideas we have in mind. So we also really encourage the developers to do something to like a POC, right? To prove it. Especially, it's not just a technically work; it should be financially work, right? So otherwise, it doesn't make sense. We don't need to transfer. So in the future, in my mind, because Cosmos ecosystem, we're using IBC and also NFT on IBC, we create an interconnectable world with basically the owner of digital assets, NFT, can have the freedom to transfer their asset to any destination they want, as long as the destination provide a better financial policy, financial incentive program. So that actually really bring us a very free market, right? So the digital asset owner can have the freedom to move assets around. It's not bounded by any chain, any project. Yeah, that's our vision, and we hope this Interchain NFT can help us achieve that for at least 1 or 2 steps for now.
Yeah, get the mic. So you work at Stargaze. Obviously we both will be more biased towards the Stargaze. I want to you were a participant in the game of NFTs. Do you see any value add for a project like Stargaze to leverage interchain NFTs? Or that probably will relate to Optic as well. But do you see any value?
It's like saying, can companies benefit from there being functioning power lines or functioning running water? We kind of all need these lines to be open. So the more reliable the protocol is, the more that everyone will benefit from it. And it's not really a thing where like if you have this protocol that one chain benefits and the other chain doesn't benefit. It's just how are they gonna use, like for example, like electricity, like how are people gonna use this raw infrastructure to do something different on each chain?
Maybe I would expand that. So let's say your Stargaze, there's Optic. How Stargaze can collaborate with Optic. So the Stargaze chain, so your chain can actually benefit from that. Give me
Well,
real examples so people can visualize that.
well, for example, right? Let's say that we work together to get the protocol functioning and secure, and now there's an open line between Uptick and between Stargaze. So NFTs can flow
Mhm.
both ways, right? So they can go from Stargaze to Uptick, or they can go from Uptick to Stargaze. So they both benefit from the ability to the liquidity, right? So that
Mhm.
means that you won't just be if you have NFTs on another chain, now they could also trade on the other chain as well.
Mhm.
And there might be cases where, say, Stargaze has feature A and Uptick has feature B, um, and someone might move to Stargaze to get access to feature A and then move over to Uptick to get feature B.
Mhm. For users that would want to understand, does it mean like let's say um I got a bad kits, right? Let's say that simple example. We're still gonna stick to JPEGs or PNGs, whatever it is. So
Hmm.
let's imagine that there is a lot of liquidity I see on the Optic network. So
Hmm.
I could seamlessly use my bad kits, right, and list them on the Optic marketplace if I would notice
Yes.
there, for example, big interest. And would it be like so? What I want to know here, if I would do it, if I was to do it, is it like the seamless experience? Am I going to still have the experience that is very simple to use, similar to IBC transfer? Am I just going to do simple transfer of my NFT to Aptic and I can list there easily, or I can directly maybe list it from the Stargaze network?
So currently, I mean, it's still under development, so it's going to not be easy to do. But the goal is to have a simple UI that kind of does this in one or two clicks.
Mm-hmm.
And that is part of why we have Game of NFTs Phase 2, which is people are developing tools on there to make this more seamless and more easy for the user. Whereas Phase 1 was mostly just about the raw, like does this protocol work and is it secure? Phase 2 is more about actually developing features.
Okay, so also fairly to assume the UX will be so easy that also someone from Aptic can come and they like
Hmm.
Stargaze Marketplace, and it will be so seamless. They just connect the wallet and list the NFTs. Is it fair to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it will be that easy? Okay,
Hmm.
Dan, we left you a little there, like you a little there all lonely. I think we have two biased guests, right? One is for the Stargaze, one is for the Aptic, although they don't seem to fight with each other. Um,
Okay.
but I want to know, like, from Interchain NFTs, is there any value that could be driven towards the Cosmos Hub or the Cosmos ecosystem? Maybe not only thinking of the about the Interchain NFTs, but of NFTs as such. Do you see that NFTs will be maybe on the forefront of the innovation in Cosmos and will take important part of that?
I think NFT is an important tool for mass adoption, especially in the next round. Right now, we are seeing basically all the NFT ecology is in Ethereum network. I think the chain NFT technology can help to attract the ecology partially to the Cosmos Hub, Cosmos ecology, because NFT as an asset, liquidity is very essential for them,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think in the future it's gonna be one chain or several chains taking the lead of the whole market, and all the other chains are just doing minor works. In my opinion, I think each chain should have their advantages and their focuses. Based on that, the asset will be freely traveled through different chains, through even different using scenarios, And I think this is really the infrastructure to a future like this. So I think it may not seems like too much right now, because it's a bear market. Even the NFT community on Ethereum is not that active, but I think in the future, especially when the utility of NFT has helped us, help the crypto industry to gradually do the mass adoption. I think this is going to be the foundation of everything next step.
This is all good points, but maybe to all of you, a little bit difficult question, because when I look at the blockchains where the NFTs are mainly adopted, is and of course we can only measure it. Well, maybe it's not ideal measurement to measure it by the value of of the money of the USDs, but like on Ethereum in the last 24 hours, we just had nearly $14 million value, sold. On Solana, that's over 1 million. On Polygon, it's like 700,000, and probably like we could average this down for the weeks. Stargaze, I think, doesn't place the worst. We are like in the top 20. We would be just like somewhere behind Phantom, Algorand, around there. But how? I think it's fair to say that we in Cosmos didn't really have the NFT culture. How to bring the similar NFT culture that we see on Solana, that we see on Ethereum, and we see on Polygon? Is it possible to build similar communities like those blockchains and really be on the forefront of the NFTs? Brian, maybe you can start, or Dan. Okay, go on.
Well, I think this is a very good question. So I think that's basically the challenge and also the mission, right? We need to accomplish in the Cosmos ecosystem. Cosmos ecosystem, in my view, it's a well-connected world, but it's pretty with a loose connection, right? So to each other. So that's the nature of that. So in that case, for an NFT project, they have to find the right platform to launch that project, and also to bring the actual value to that. But in my view, that means the interoperability is really important. So we need to build, because for the project, an NFT project owner, they want to make sure the safety of the project and that it can be everlasting. Right? Then they should be responsible for the collectors, the owners of their NFT asset. So in that case, the IBC NFT is really important. Even though maybe one chain, they are not very running well, but they can move the asset to another chain. Even through some EVM type of connection, connect to Ethereum. So in my view, if we have this interconnected world, so then the NFT owner, they should have the confidence to launch bigger projects in the Cosmos ecosystem, because they know the project will be everlasting, right? It will not go away because a chain or team doesn't perform well. So in that case, and also on the Cosmos ecosystem, even on like Optic chain, the maintenance cost is pretty low. So if we can have this mint, and they can move to another chain which has more customers or collectors. But on the other side, we really need to build. I think this year is still the infrastructure phase for this interchain. So we need to build this reliable network, and also we need to have pretty good tools and services to build out on top of that. For example, if I can transfer one NFT to IrisNet or Stargaze or even to Ethereum, how can I convince people this is the authentic one, right? Even though technically we can say, I can show you all the records, But on the other side, on the application level, should also provide another level of check and verification to make sure people understand this original NFT was from there and to here. So in that case, people will have the confidence to invest, collect, and also do other things. Yeah, so I think, yeah, so we're in the stage of this pretty early stage of Interchain NFT. But once we have this infrastructure in place, I will see a lot of creative application happen, maybe into the business operation next year.
Dan?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. I'm thinking just now, are we gonna take the same path as Ethereum or Solana? You know, how they build their ecology, or a similar path? I think not, because I would think in the next round, NFTs and maybe the whole crypto industry will have different logic or application logic, because right now all the chains focus on DeFi, and even though the NFTs we have right now, it's not of too much utility. It's basically, used for social purposes. But in the next round, I think using scenarios, or, for example, games, social projects are very important for the mass adoption. And for those projects, because I build my projects myself, when I'm when I'm thinking of choosing a chain or choosing a technology, liquidity and the freedom to move asset is very important to me, especially in details. For example, the bridges right now, we see a lot of attacks on bridges, but right now it's mostly on FT bridges. But that's basically because there are not too much NFT bridges right now. But that's a very good example, like the safety of the infrastructure in the future. I think by using or by choosing Interchain NFTs or by choosing Cosmos technology, this will erase from the basic side a lot of the risks for project, and those projects will deliver good using scenarios, and we should attract NFT ecology from the scenarios. I really think the next step is going to be mass adoption. So I think that's going to be our breakthrough point.
Hey,
I
Don?
really liked it. Yeah.
I got to drop. Any more questions for me?
Yeah, before you get it, I will get back to you, Dan. So like the question was, and thank you, Michael, for joining. So I was thinking like, what's the place for Cosmos NFTs, because we are far away from like leading Ethereum and Solana volumes. So how we build the NFT culture in Cosmos, what is the most important to actually make the NFTs in any form a thing in Cosmos and being important player in the NFT space?
So the analogy that I like the most is like Las Vegas. So if you go to Las Vegas, if there's like one casino, that's kind of boring. You get stuck into one casino. I mean, even if it's a good casino. So, when you go to Las Vegas, there's Caesar's Palace, there's Bally's, and it's the strip. It's all the different casinos that creates the experience. And I think having different chains with different cultures and whatnot, and as long as each one is a fun and unique experience, that people will want to go between the different chains the same way that when they go to Las Vegas, they don't want to just stay in one casino. They want to walk around and try all the different casinos.
Yeah, I love this analogy, Michael, and I do think everyone will like it. Yeah, and enjoy your evening. We're gonna be in touch after. Yeah, thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Dan, like also I want to refer to this. I like what Michael said, but I like your point, because I feel when I look at Ethereum, it's the volume of the images, but like I feel what you essentially meant, that hey, we might be on the forefront of different type of NFTs, right? Like, so maybe it not
Right.
necessarily be images, but maybe Cosmos will be absolutely um leading player in the financial NFTs, such as like liquidity pool as the NFTs, right? Will emerge from Cosmos, and we will be at the forefront of the or anything else, right? Am I thinking correctly here?
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it was really really good point. I think we can slowly wrap it up to not lengthen this. I think we covered most of that. Is there anything that you feel we didn't cover and that we should add